got to recognise danger, haven't you, as a defender?
Like,
you moved pretty quickly the other day, didn't you? Like sprinting.
In the mascot suit.
But I want to see people. There's a lot of players switching off at this moment. Expecting someone else to do their job.
Expect the worst always.
I've seen Van Dijk in a Liverpool shirt now. How long has he been there? About 6 or 7 years. I probably think I can count on one hand how many times I've seen him sprint. He plays the game sort of slow motion, the way he moves. He always seems to get there, but at times that's probably the one thing you could sort of say to him. Now and again, could he have a little bit more intensity?
And did you feel at the other side that Konate was helping out Trent Alexander-Arnold quite a lot in the game?
Konate was fantastic. Honestly, he was Liverpool's best player by a mile. How much he stopped down that side, coming across. And probably that situation we're talking about, Konate's natural reaction is to get across. He's probably told it's going to happen a lot more because you've got Trent on that side. He goes into midfield. So he's actually picked and was bought for Liverpool because he was playing behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. He almost finds himself as a centre-back and a right-back at times. And
I'm starting to worry about this Arsenal mentality now. You're 2-1 up, and I'm still looking, go on and try and win the game. But there's elements of Arsenal now, and it's happened most of the season, when they get themselves in front. Don't mind excuses about injuries or when they're the 10 men. They all seem to sit back in as if we're setting for 2-1, we try and get something on a set piece instead of going, go and get the third goal. Because Liverpool were there for the taking if they wanted to go for it, but it was almost, let's hope we can win 2-1. And then when you're up against good players like Salah, then they're good enough to punish you. I thought the momentum was with them towards the end, and obviously they were on the front foot. But when you're 2-1 down, and we know how good Arsenal are, particularly defensively, I think Liverpool certainly will be more satisfied with the draw, maybe more so than Arsenal.
A lot of talk in the build-up to this game about the number of injuries that Arsenal have had, which Virgil van Dijk's obviously heard about and referenced then.
He's right. I mean, Arsenal weren't missing many of their starting players today. But like I alluded to at the start of the game, this was an opportunity for Liverpool to show exactly what they're made of. And what I found disappointing, like you, was the lack of the intensity when they had Arsenal on the ropes. Arsenal were dropping back. They allowed the pressure. They were quite happy to sit in and take the 2-1 because they are now rigid in certain ways. And that's the bit I don't want Arsenal to lose, is that freedom when they are winning to put teams to the sword. They just didn't quite do that. Didn't do enough to win the game today. But Liverpool as well, the same sort of story for themselves.
Well,
there's a lot now with set-piece coaches. And we highlighted the situation with the Bournemouth set-piece coach and how much of an impact he had on the Arsenal goal last week. You see this sometimes the set-piece coach came out for Arsenal, they're almost celebrating. That's just a great delivery. That's got nothing to do with a set-piece coach. That is unbelievable delivery from Declan Rice, putting it in an area. So that's never changed.
Say that's the timing of... He wants the timing, so he's... Even from the run-up itself... There's a lot of thought that goes into it as well, with set pieces as well.
Of course,
it's one of those you don't
the
just
post.
do. But probably yourself would have done it just the day before, a few set pieces. But they do it every day, so it's just repetition. It's like with strikers.
You can have all the movement that you want, but if the ball obviously has been,
it does help.
But we're watching here, and you watch any game at any level of football. When someone puts a good ball in, you do look and go, "Oh, you're in trouble here." No matter how well Liverpool might have lined up, and there's so much pace in it, any connection, it's going to go in the back of the net.
Well, listen, Liverpool were in the title race, and I think Liverpool were top of the league. I think we're probably 6 or 7 games to go. There's still a long way to go to see if Liverpool are in that position. So I wouldn't say the better, I'd say the different. They're certainly better defensively when you look at the numbers sort of, this season. I think Liverpool came here twice last year, once in the FA Cup. Won here, I think, 2-0, but got absolutely battered in the first half. Arsenal should have won the game. Arsenal beat them, I think, in the league 3-1. So, created a lot of chances. That wasn't the sort of the game that we watched today. That's probably something a little bit around Arsenal, where they're going. We maybe get to that shortly. But from Liverpool's point of view, the big change this season is defensively. They look a solid unit. Well, I think this season they've been the best defensively in the Premier League, and that's a big difference from what we saw last season.
Does style matter in terms of delivering trophies, the biggest trophies, ending this long wait for a Premier League title?
I mean, and that's... you hit the nail on the head there. The long wait, the Arsenal fans that have waited for something, and if they're going to win it in the Jose Mourinho way, he was very successful. I think they will take that. I really genuinely think they will. But like I say, don't shy away from what you're good at as well. But of course, it's all about the trophies in the end of it. You'll be remembered for that. Jose Mourinho is obviously saying very successful, winning in a certain way of style. Why could you not do both? I think they can do both. They showed it in the first half and the second half at times. It's just, I feel like right now, Arsenal are going for a sticky patch, but still getting results. Liverpool, we're talking about them challenging, and it's all sort of roses with Slot right now. But they didn't win here today. They still managed to get a result, against a depleted Arsenal team towards the back of the end of the game. So for me, I still feel like it's a positive sort of outlet for Arsenal. Right?
But when you're trying to win the title from Man City, though, it's talking about styles, and I've played for managers, and I think all the great managers are gamblers. They do go and want to win games, and they'll sacrifice losing the odd game. But I'm seeing with this Arsenal group, there's still the element of even everyone settling going, no, we'll take like the draw today. Instead of sitting there going, we were 2-1 up. And then when they got it back 2-2, we should have try and get the momentum back in the game and try and win the game. There's an element of, well, put it this way, too many draws won't win you any title.
Do you think
you're comparing them to you're comparing to a brilliant Man City team.
Yeah, but do you think they can sacrifice playing against a Liverpool team? And maybe you can sacrifice playing against a Brighton. Obviously, they're down to 10 men, but a Liverpool team who are expected to be there at the end of the season? I'm not quite sure. I mean, like I said at the start of the show, Liverpool have only faced United and obviously Arsenal today,
Chelsea,
I feel.
Leipzig. AC Milan, Arsenal.
Again, it was their first proper test. Chelsea were not classed to being winning the league at the start of the year, considering they finished 6th last year. Maybe they're spoken about this year.
Have Liverpool got to play Man City away for everyone to say that they played someone? Is that what we're waiting for? When is the date of that game?
That's what we're waiting for.
Couple of weeks, first of
First of
December.
You
December.
praised Arsenal while ago for having some tough games by beating Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Is that, you putting that in the bracket of a tough game?
I am, definitely, particularly away from home. I think Arsenal at this moment in time have played teams away from home particularly and still managed to get a result. And that's the difference, I say, compared to Liverpool at this moment.
But you have to play half your games away from home, don't you? Your league.
And then I believe how it works is you also play them at home. Before
As well, Michael Owen moved, didn't he? Many years ago to Real Madrid as well.
Michael Owen moved and Steve
And it
McManaman
worked for
moved,
him.
and they were two amazing players for Liverpool, but they're not thought of as amazing players by Liverpool supporters because they moved on. And that's one of the reasons why Steve... I haven't finished there, but that's one of the reasons why Steven Gerrard is such a legend at the club and seen as the greatest ever player to play for the club because he stayed here for his whole career.
So loyalty, you think has to come into it, right? Obviously, you want loyalty. Get yourself a dog.
mic drop moment.
And that's from my own experience.
Yes, absolutely. It works both ways as well.
But I still look at this mentality of this Arsenal group today, when you're watching them live and they're 2-1 up, and whatever the circumstances, injuries, go, but can you go on and not take silly gambles, but you're the home team, take the initiative. And I always feel with this Arsenal, particularly today, when we're 2-1 up, we'll step back. And I really worry for the Arsenal, forget about the players, the medical staff. Because every time an Arsenal player's tackled, they're going down, they're rolling around, they're time wasting. And they're trying to kill the game. I get about that, but you're the home team, you're 2-1 up, use the initiative, use the fans behind you, because the fans are doing their best to get them over the line today. And it's as if, I just worry about that belief and that mentality where you're going, do they really have that belief and conviction that they're a top team and they can really challenge Man City? I still don't see it. I think they've made great progress, and it seems really, I suppose, critical, but you have to look at it when you compare them to Man City, where Man City have got to the last few years.